Sound check 1 2 3. Sound check 1 2 3.
Welcome to the Grants Subcommittee meeting for February the 18th, 2026. I'll be guest chairing today. Vice Chair Councillor Kretsch, and joining me in chambers is Councillor Taddison. Joining me online, Councillors Jackson, Francis, Chair Nan, and Councillor Maureen Wilson. I'm going to call the meeting to order because we have quorum. I'm going to check with Legislative Coordinator McCray if there's anything new on the agenda we need to be advised of.
No, Chair, there are no changes to the agenda.
Great. Declarations of conflicts of interest. Does anyone have a conflict of interest to declare? Oh yeah, we just have to approve the agenda first. That's important, I think. So can I have a mover and seconder for that? I see Councillor Nan, Councillor Francis, and that's a show of hands vote. All those in favor? That's everyone, meaning no one's opposed, so it carries. And we're on to declarations of interest. No one seems to have one. Great. Approval of minutes of the previous meeting from September 3rd, 2025. Can I have a mover and seconder to do that? Okay, moved by Councillor Taddison. I'll second that. All those in favor of the minutes from our September 3rd, 2025 meeting by show of hands? That's everybody. Thank you. That carries. There are no delegations today, so we're on to items for information. The first one being 7.1 GRA 26002, the 2026 City Enrichment Fund intake update. Can I please have a mover and seconder to put the item on the floor? Moved by Councillor Taddison, seconded by Councillor Nan. Is there any discussion on the item for information today? Councillor Jackson, take it away.
Good morning, Vice Chair Kretsch. So, Vice Chair Kretsch, I have some questions just for my edification, but I think it kind of parlays between this item for information and item for consideration. So how about if I'll leave it to you and your discretion as to when you want me to ask my questions, because they're all budget related to both items.
Well, let's just wait for the item for consideration then if there's nobody else with questions on this item. Seeing no one else with questions on this item, this is an electronic vote. Pardon me, it's an item for information, I lied. It's to be received by show of hands. So all those in favor, that's everybody, that carries. We'll move on to items for consideration. GRA 26001, 2025 City Enrichment Fund financial update. Can I please have a mover and seconder to put the report on the floor? Moved by Councillor Taddison. I'll second that. The item is on the floor. Is there any discussion on this item, Councillor Jackson? Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Kretsch. So I've got my Jackson summary that is using as reference the Farrat and Garwood summary. So if I could just ask these questions for my edification and staff's response, of course, starting with Director Anderson and or then Coordinator Farrat or Business Administrator Garwood, through you. So as of this report, we have $2,190 left in reserve, correct?
Whoever wants to edify Councillor Jackson, go ahead.
Good morning, Andrew Carvalho, advisor to the City Enrichment Fund and Community Outreach. I'm sorry, Councillor Jackson, were you asking about the balance of the reserve?
I was Senior Advisor Carvalho.
Okay. Well, my colleague Ashley has confirmed that the current balance is $14,000. And if the recommendations in this report are approved, then we're looking at a forecasted balance of $245,000.
Okay, I'm already confused and I got about 10 questions. In the report, it says that there is a balance that will be left in reserve of $2,190. What am I missing, please? Through you, Vice Chair?
Through you, Chair. I'm Ashley Bono, Manager of Finance and Administration for Planning, Economic Development, City Manager's Office, and Corporate Services. The difference is that at the time of the report, it was more of a forecast, and we further refined the numbers. So the difference between the 2,000 and the 14,000 is in the appeal process. We used less money for the appeals process. So that's where the driver is.
Okay, thanks, Manager Bono, and good morning to you.
Good morning.
Through you, Vice Chair Kretsch. So there's $231,097 left as a surplus from 2025 that we wish to apply to this year, correct? Hello, the silence is deafening. Hello?
Hello. Through the chair, so the balance that we're looking at of 231,000 is comprised of 2024 funds that were returned at a total of 91,973, combined with 2025 uncollected grants, and that total is at 125,963. And that brings us to the balance of 231,000.
Correct. So senior advisor, that's the amount collectively we're applying as a surplus to 2026, correct?
Through the chair, correct. And just
Okay.
to confirm that this is the recommendation is to transfer this balance to the CEF reserve.
Yes, yes, I assume that. Thank you. Multi-year funding. $3,431,201 has been approved, reading the report. The words in there, though, were at this time. Can somebody explain, please, through you, Vice Chair Kretsch, what does that mean? That means potentially there are more approvals to come under the MYF through you, whoever wants. I'll just throw it out there to whoever on that bench wants to answer it, please.
Through the chair, good morning. Rebecca Farrat, Grants Coordinator. Councillor, the multi-year funding has 103 approved participants in it.
Yes.
The reason that that number is contingent is if any of them were to not successfully submit their interim reports from 2025, they would not be considered in good standing and wouldn't be able to continue within the multi-year funding process. We do not anticipate, or nor do we have a process where we would be adding anyone to multi-year funding at this time. The pilot's mid-process. It's just that there could be potential that folks would drop out of multi-year funding if they weren't in good standing, either in arrears or a outstanding report, or their report was found to not have been a successful program year where they weren't meeting our requirements.
That's good to know, Coordinator Fraud. Vice Chair Kretsch, you just tell me when my time's up and I have to go back a second time, no problem.
It's okay, Councillor Jackson. There's not anybody else on the speakers list at this time, so you have free reign to carry on. Silence is included.
I have all the whole meeting to myself. Thank you, Vice Chair Kretsch. Marvelous. I've waited for this time for over 30 years. Thank you. Okay, so
Congratulations, Councillor Jackson.
thank you. So piggybacking on what you said, Coordinator Fraud, if a multi-year application is not successful or ineligible, can they slide over hypothetically to a Y-to-Y, year-to-year funding stream?
Through the chair, yes, we would conditionally approve them on a single year basis if they were in good standing with CEF, and that would come through a single year recommendation at our meeting on May 20th, where all CEF recommendations for 2026 will be made.
Okay. MYF, I noticed a statement there in the report said one of the benefits is it reduces the number of applications requiring staff review. Can I just presume, though, that's a lot of money approved, pre-approved, 3,400,000 and change. Can I presume, though, there is still due diligence of staff monitoring those that have qualified? Through you, Vice Chair?
Through the chair, yes, I'm very happy to confirm that the difference is that they didn't have to apply this year. They still are very much required to report, and those reports are reviewed by our program manager as well as our administrative team.
Okay, thank you. Couple of more. The 2026 requests in total, MYF and Y-to-Y, is 12,765,736, correct?
Through the chair, the total requested value for 2026, including both multi-year funding and single-year applicants, is 12,700,000 and change.
That confirms what I just said. Perfect, thank you. So what are our funds available pre the surplus, pre the 231,000? What are our funds available in 2026, please? Through you, Vice Chair?
Through the chair, should the budget be approved shortly, the CEF budget that we are looking at is 6 million, so 6,700,000 and change.
And then, Senior Advisor Carvella, would that then include the 231,000 if we approve this report, or is that 231 on top of the 6.7?
Through the chair, so that would, the 231, if approved, would be on top within the reserve account for CF.
So I would add that 231 to 6.7 to roughly give me 6.931, correct?
Through the chair, yes, so that would be the dollars available to CF, but just to share that when staff are preparing the allocations for consideration, we apply allocations direct from the CF budget, not the reserve.
Okay, so to conclude, overall, we would have 6.7 million plus 231,000 plus $2,190 left in total for this committee to deliberate over. Correct? Through you, Vice Chair?
Through you, Chair, the 2,000 is now 14,000. As
I'm sorry.
previously discussed. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have corrected my notes from what you said earlier, Manager. Otherwise, am I correct in my calculations in total, please?
Through the chair, that's correct.
Vice Chair Kretsch, I am edified. Thank you so much for your indulgence.
So indulged. I just have a quick question, and I just wanted, if it's factual, just responding to what Councillor Jackson has asked. If you could clarify what we use the reserve for, that might be helpful, because I know that we're talking about the different pots of money that are available, but they're not all available in the same manner. What has the reserve been used for? What do we use the reserve for?
Through the chair, the reserve has fluctuated over the years and typically is available should there be any discrepancies at the time of operating and providing the allocation. So we have used it in the past to make corrections to staff or technical errors. It has been drawn upon to provide one-time funding following the pandemic, and we do hope to access the reserve to be able to deliver the appeals process this year. But otherwise, staff typically don't use it as part of the annual allocations.
Thanks very much for clarifying that. I don't see anybody else with a question today on this report, so we're going to go to the electronic vote. Yay or nay on the recommendations in the report? And the vote is loading. I'll let you know when it's up on my side, and the vote is up. And that vote carries 6-0. We're now on 8.2, amendments to the outstanding business list. Can I have a mover and seconder to approve the amendments to the outstanding business list? I can't see anyone right now, so just 1 second. Oh, Councillor Taddison has agreed to move, and since I can't see, I'll just second. That'll make it easy. And I believe this is an electronic vote as well. So please vote accordingly. It is up. And that carries 6-0. There are no motions, there are no notices of motions, and nothing for us to discuss in a closed session. So that's it for today, folks. The meeting's adjourned at 9:46 a.m. Have a good day, everybody.